Uthman, even though Uthman could actually bring cameras in himself. Ain't that crazy?
Okay, is
All
this
right,
about the
he's
Quran
running.
or is this about the Trinity? Come on now.
Yeah, so my main contention with the Trinity is
I just wanted to throw that out there to you, brother.
Yeah, I understand. But my main contention with the Trinity is it's just going to be the logical one, right? I think when you say Jesus is God, the Father is God, the Holy Spirit is God, either way, when you're making a predication claim or an identity statement, either way, you're going to count three gods or kind of as the same God. So I'm just curious, what kind of statement are you making when you say Jesus is God?
Okay, so can I ask you a counter question then? So can we count Allah as 99 different gods?
No, because once again, we're not saying that these individual persons are him. We don't. That's not how our theology works.
Yeah, but we know that he has 99 different attributes, so that means that he's 99 different gods.
Yeah, just because he doesn't have an attribute. Yeah, we wouldn't say Jesus is an attribute of God either. Like under the Christian view, if he's just an attribute, that'd be weird, right? You just say Jesus is a property of God. That just makes sense.
Yeah, Jesus is not just a property of God. I don't know where you get that.
Yeah, so he can't just be an attribute. That's why like the analogy fails when you're trying to analogize like attributes of God within Islam to Christianity.
Yeah, but it says that he has 99, meaning that he's one God, but yet he continuously calls himself in the plural. We have revealed these things to you, right? This is Allah speaking, so he speaks in the plural.
Yeah, but even if it were to be the case that I would grant your position is true, that doesn't mean the logical problem of the Trinity is resolved, right?
Yeah, so doesn't the Quran actually account for our scriptures as well as the gospel and as the Injil? Yeah, so the revelation came from, right, the Injil, right, would be the full New Testament, right? It would be the Gospels, which is the gospel message of Paul. Also the rest of the apostles.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
No, that's what I said. That's what I said.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that's what you said. I'm saying that's what I said.
You're not saying the New Testament is a revelation, right?
Yeah, it is.
So you think them observing what Jesus did is a revelation?
No. So Muhammad, your prophet, is supposed to, if he has any doubts about the Quran, he's supposed to go to the previous scriptures, which would be the Torah,
the Injil,
and the Injil. Okay,
the New
and so the Injil would be all the gospel, which is even including Paul and the rest of the apostles.
Which is not going to include Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John for different reasons, because those aren't.
So it can include Paul, but not Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Okay, do you think that
because we have the Dead Sea Scrolls
given to Jesus would be written in 90 AD, or would it be written when Jesus was on Earth? Like it was revelation.
Well, not necessarily, because whenever Jesus ascended, right, he said that the Holy Spirit would lead them into all truth, and these writings, right, from Matthew and John in particular, right, they actually lived and walked with Jesus himself, and so if they wrote down what he
so
did,
revelation, they're just observing what he did, right? That wouldn't be a form of revelation.
Well, yeah, because revelation. So Jesus is the exact revelation from God, because he was sent by God.
Wait,
so he is the very revelation.
A revelation of God is a revelation to them.
Yeah, so I mean, the revelation of God can be something that you observe the one that is sent. So if Jesus is God, which is what the Bible, which is what. Hang on. So if the Injil calls Jesus God, okay, and God came down in human flesh and walked among us, the very words of him is the very revelation of God.
Among Us reference? And no, that's not the case. So
you said what was the first part?
Among Us reference, because it said Among Us, so I just thought it was funny. But anyways, when you're talking about, like, for example, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Yeah. So when you talk about like Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and John observing what Jesus did, that doesn't mean that's a revelation to them. They're just observing a form of revelation given to God, right?
I have a question for you.
Like, if you want to say Jesus is a revelation, that doesn't mean, yeah.
No. I didn't say Jesus was the revelation. I said his words are the revelation, because they're the very words of God.
They documented his words, but they documented his actions too, right? Them documenting his actions aren't documenting him. Mm-hmm. That's not a revelation.
Yeah, so the actions and words, because Jesus said, "Don't just believe, or if you believe God's that I am in the Father and the Father's in me, but believe." Hang on, you gonna cut me off, or you gonna let me respond? So Jesus said in John, Jesus. Well, I'm trying to answer you. So in John chapter 14, right? Jesus says that believe that I am in the Father and the Father is in me, or else believe on the works themselves. So the very revelation of Christ, which is the Injil, is them writing down the very words of Jesus, but also writing down what he did, which is also the works, which is also the
Yeah, but that's not
revelation.
going to be a revelation, right? Like them observing his actions doesn't mean it's a revelation. Same way
Yeah,
that
because it comes from the
go ahead.
Father.
Right, so that wouldn't be a revelation, right?
Yeah,
And the
because
Injil is
God gives revelation. God gives
right, so the
revelation.
Injil is going to be a
Well, he
revelation. So
gave
if
to
it's the case that
Jesus.
the Gospels are not, so if it's the case the actions that are observed and written down are not revelations, that means the Injil cannot be the New Testament.
Can I ask Dawa a question?
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Do you know what Muhammad did in the Quran?
I know a lot of things that he did.
Not that it was eyewitness testimony, but why do Jesus's actions disqualify the Gospels as being the Injil? When
Because
you know
once
what
again, the
he
Injil is
did.
direct revelation. They're revelation about what Jesus said, what Jesus preached, and his overall message, right?
Yeah, we have that.
So his actions being documented isn't a form of revelation.
Okay.
That just
Even
wouldn't be what the word revelation means.
all I'm saying is that
No, it
even if you
actually
just
is.
take out every verse about his actions, take out everything Jesus said, and you still come up with Christianity. That's about it.
Take out
Jesus
everything Jesus said, and you would still end up with Christianity. That's
No,
not
I meant what everything he
No,
did.
did.
Sorry, I misspoke.
everything he did. So if he didn't die on the cross, that means there's still Christianity, because that's
He
an
said he
action
came
that
to
was
die on the
observed.
cross.
Well, I hold to that view, but in the New Testament it says he died on the cross, right? Like in the Gospels, right?
Yeah,
So if you
Jesus'
took
own
that out,
word
that
says
wouldn't
that
be
he's coming to
Christianity.
die on the cross.
Yeah.
Right. So if you took that out, it wouldn't be Christianity still.
No.
We
He
have
said the works.
what Jesus taught.
Yeah, we're talking about taking out his
that's what
actions.
Jesus actually
We're talking
revealed.
about
So
what he said. We're talking about taking out his actions, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
so
take out
the
his
problem
actions.
here.
Sorry, you got it, Mitch.
Oh no, go ahead. I didn't know you were going to respond. Go ahead.
No, yeah, I was agreeing with him. Yeah, we're taking out all of his actions. So forget the multiplying wine, all the fish thing, everything that Jesus spoke with his lips.
I mean, if we show you that, okay, so wait a minute. This doesn't even matter ultimately because you don't even believe that this is the Injil. And we got to understand what the Injil is.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to prove.
The Injil isn't the New Testament. That's what I'm disputing right now.
He said that the Injil was something that Jesus preached. So I'm trying to focus on what Jesus'
words are
words
not the Injil necessarily because the Gospels have been corrupted.
Not necessarily. So that's what I just said. So if he's going to show you that Jesus in his own words said that he's the Son of God, that doesn't matter because you don't believe that's the Injil. That's what I said. And you said, no, I do believe that's the Injil. So which is
Yes, because we were talking about you guys taking away your actions from Christianity. If you say you took away Jesus' actions, what he did, that wouldn't still be Christianity.
And I'm taking us back to square one, and I'm trying to understand where it is, right? Where can we find the actual Injil?
It's through revelation. I can't show
the Gospels can be.
Injil, but
so you're saying the Gospels can be? Okay,
no,
great.
They're not necessarily the Injil.
Okay, so only the things that you agree with.
No, not that I agree with.
Okay, so I have a question. Was Jesus a Muslim?
Yeah, I would say so.
Isa.
Okay, okay, so show me in the Quran where you can get that.
I mean,
show me in the Quran how he prayed.
If he's a prophet of God, that just means he's Muslim trivial. Because what a Muslim means is somebody that follows God, right? You would say Jesus follows God.
Okay, so if I bow down, so let's say that I bow down to my camera right now and call it God. Does that mean I'm a Muslim?
I worship Jews.
No,
Am I a
that's
Muslim?
not what it means. You have to be referring to the actual object God, right? You can't be referring to
you
like
have
your
to.
camera.
So you have to believe in Allah to be Muslim.
Yes, you'd have to believe in Allah and to be Muslim.
Oh, so it's not just me bowing down to God. It's just I have to believe in the one true God,
because
right?
once again, when you're saying bowing down to God, that's so ambiguous because your conception of God is so radically different than mine. Like speaking of
prostrating.
Your God, like
so prostrating to God. If I prostrate to God, right? If I prostrate to my camera and I call it God, does that make me a Muslim?
No, because once again, the object is going to be different. The object of the
so
camera
I have
is going to be different in properties than the object of God itself, right?
Right. So I can't.
So
just,
then you can't just do that, right?
So okay, great. So that's my point. So I have to believe in Allah. I have to prostrate to Allah.
Yes,
so I have to prostrate to Allah, which is the Muslim, which is the Quran,
right?
Right. So Allah is the Quran, the Muslim God, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's not a father.
No, I don't think Allah is father. Like what? Like this is such
Yeah,
ambiguous
so
language.
Jesus calls so Jesus prostrated to his father. That would contradict what the Quran says about Allah.
How so?
Because Allah is a father in no sense. So if Jesus calls God if Jesus prostrates to his father, then that means that can't be Allah. So therefore, Jesus is not a
No, we're
Muslim.
talking about it referring to the actual object. We're not referring to like how the terms are going to be used, right?
No. Because again,
of God
if you even believe in the Quran, even if you believe, if you even think of Allah being a father in any sense, then you're damned. Okay. So in the same way, when Jesus calls Allah,
referring to the actual object God, even if he uses a different term.
Well, no, because you cannot call Allah a father due to the Quran. The Quran says you cannot address Allah as the father.
Yes, but this isn't disputing the ontology of it. Do you think that Jesus saying the Father is referring to God? Yes or no?
Yes.
Is God Allah? Yes or no?
Not in the Bible, he ain't.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about under my view because we're doing an internal critique, presumably, right?
Under your view, but you already made an error even with that because again you asked me if Jesus' father is God. I'm answering.
Okay.
I'm answering.
I feel like I know where he's gonna go with this. I feel like I do, but I want to see where this goes.
So ask me again, and maybe we can get somewhere.
Okay. So you're saying that in the Bible, Jesus referred to God as the Father, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And God, under my view, is going to refer to Allah, correct?
Yeah.
So if Jesus refers to the Father, that means he's referring to Allah, correct?
No, because Allah is not a father in any sense.
According to your view, no.
It's okay.
Can I ask him a question?
True? Now, hang on. Let's do that.
Like define the terms as Father equals God, right? You got that down?
No, not necessarily, because again, Allah is not a father in any sense. Can you show me in the Quran where Allah is referred to a father in any sense?
We'll do this again.
No. It's my turn to ask a question. I answered yours. It's my turn to ask. Okay. Show me in the Quran. Can you show me in the Quran where Allah is referred to as a father in any sense?
No, but he's referred to it because
okay, great.
God,
so Jesus refers to God as the Father, so therefore it's not Allah in any sense.
No, that's not what it has to do. That like literally doesn't follow at all. So here's the problem with what you're doing, all right? So we'll go through this again.
I'm just following what the Quran says, dog.
I'm following what the
That's all I'm doing.
says. I'm saying the New Testament affirms that Allah is God, right? So in the New Testament, you would say that
because God is the Father.
I'll try again. So you would say Jesus equals the Father, correct?
You said what?
In the New Testament, when Jesus says God, he's referring to the Father, correct?
Yeah.
So then God would be equal to Father, right? You got that down.
Mm-hmm.
Would equal Allah, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So Allah would equal to Father because of transitivity, correct?
No. That's where you disconnect because you don't know your own Quran.
Identity is.
You don't know the Quran, bro. You don't know the Quran.
You don't know how identity works.
Listen. You are committing shirk right now. You're committing shirk right now.
Hey, dog, can you say something for me? Hey, dog, can you say something for me real quick?
You're committing shirk because you're calling Allah a father.
No, I'm not. I'm referring to the terms. Like if we were going to say A equals B.
A term in any sense, dude. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in what sense, bro. It matters that Allah is not a father in any sense, no matter what the term is.
I think I know what
sense at all.
Just misreferring.
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. Jesus refers
the New Testament, right?
Jesus refers to God as his own father, meaning that is his own father.
Meaning that he's using the term to refer to God, correct?
Yeah, but doesn't that mean that he is also God's son? Right? What? But hang on a second. Is he God's son?
Son of man, yes.
No, the son of God.
What does it mean to be the son of God?
It means that you are from the Father.
Means he's from the Father. So what does that mean? He's
from the Father, which is not Allah.
Yeah, what does that mean though? What does it mean to be from the Father? Because it seems like that's ambiguous.
Well, he's begotten eternally from the Father.
Okay, I would deny that. No, that's not the case.
That's what the Bible says. So I don't care if you deny it or not. That's what the Bible says. I know that the Quran don't believe that because the Quran doesn't say
but once again,
anywhere that Allah is a father and he has no son. He says he needs a mate to have a son, in fact.
Mitch, I think I know what fallacy's talking about. Can you describe it real quick, Dawa?
So the problem that he's talking about is when he's saying that the Father is God and then God is going to be equal, is going to equal Allah. It's just going to follow that. Therefore, the Father equals Allah. So Jesus is referring to Allah when he's talking about God in the New Testament. That's just by
okay. So in that same way, let's follow that. Let's follow that in. Okay. With that same term, with that same way, can you call Allah the Father by the Quran?
No, because that's a disproportional usage of the word. It's going to be a different word.
No, because see, if Jesus can do it, then we can all do it.
No.
What
makes Jesus any different? Because he's only a prophet.
Things that Jesus does that we cannot do, right?
But he's only a prophet. He's no different.
Yeah, but there's things he's done that we can't do, right?
He's a creation from Allah, right?
What do you mean? Yeah, I guess.
Did Allah create Jesus?
Yes.
Okay, well, he's not God then. In the Quran,
I agree.
He's God in the he's God in the Injil, so that contradicts there.
He's not God in the Injil, no.
In our Injil, he is.
So in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, I can show you many times where Jesus is claimed to be God.
Okay, we could just go through this. Okay, here's the reason why the Gospels aren't actually part of the Injil. It's because they.
So I want you to tell me what the Injil is. I don't want you to tell me what it ain't.
The Injil is
I want you to tell me what it is.
Given to Jesus. It's not going to be the
okay. Where is it? Can you show me where it is? Can you pull it up so I can read it? Because I want to know. I want to know what the Injil says, man. I want to know what was given to Jesus. So let me know. The Quran is not. The Quran is not the Injil.
Where in the Quran does it say partially preserved? Obviously, there would be no need for the Quran if it was perfectly preserved, right?
There's the Islamic dilemma. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That is why we don't need Allah and Muhammad and the Quran. We don't need it because we already have the Injil.
No, because they're corrupted.
Okay, tell me in the Quran where the Injil is corrupted.
There would be a need for the Quran if they were corrupted, right? That's why the Gospels came later on. That's why the Injil came.
No.
That's why the Quran came afterwards.
No,
because he can't defend his own books. Not gonna lie.
I know that's what I'm saying. So every time that I ask you, show me in the Quran, you cannot do it. So again, let me try this again. Let me try this again. Hang on a second. Let me ask you. Let me ask you. Where in the Quran does it say that the Injil is partially preserved or corrupted?
It wouldn't say that because it would just be a logical inference that we make, right? If there is a need for another revelation, that would be because the Injil is corrupted, right?
Okay, so wait a minute. So if Muhammad is told, right, if he has any doubts about the Quran,
I just said yes or no.
Hang on a second. So if Muhammad
he's not going to answer the question.
Is told by Allah, right, to go to the previous scriptures, the people of the book, go talk to them. If you have any doubts about the Quran, did they have it back then?
Yes, they did to a certain degree, but they don't have it perfectly preserved.
But again, I want you to show me in the Quran where it says that it's not perfectly preserved because you can't do that.
Once again, it's a logical inference. Okay, we'll just try this. Do you agree that if the Injil is corrupted, they would need more revelation? They need a new revelation, right? Would you agree with that?
Sure.
The Quran only would come out if and only if the Injil is corrupted. So then, obviously, if the Quran came and is a revelation, that would mean the Injil had to be corrupted, right?
No, because that would not logically
follows.
That would not logically follow. No. Hang on. Hold up. Let's follow this logic. Let's go back to it. Okay. What came first?
We're gonna try to go through.
What came first? Did the Injil come first, or did the Quran come first?
The Injil, then the Quran.
Okay, great. So let's follow this. Okay.
Yes, let's follow this.
All right. Let's go. So which one would have to be true first?
The Injil would be true first, but the Quran would contain the same information, right?
But if it doesn't, and it contradicts what the Injil was in the first century, right?
Yes, then the Injil would be false. Yes, if the
Okay,
Injil
great.
contained information that
So,
contradicted
but hang on a second. So it would be vice versa. So if the Quran does not line up with the Injil, then the Quran would be false, not the Injil.
Yes.
Okay, great.
That's what I
So
just said.
So again, if we know what the Injil is, and we know that they had it in the first century, then we know that the Gospels that we have currently was what they currently had back then, or at least before Muhammad
Yes,
showed up on the scene.
Yes, if we did see the Gospels were perfectly preserved up to like Muhammad's time, then yes, we would have the Injil still.
Okay, so if we had the
There would
Injil,
be no need for the Quran.
let's just follow it, right? So I just want a hypothetical question, okay? So if so let's just assume that we have the Injil right now. Okay? If the Injil that I'm supposed to live by, which is what Allah says, right? Christians are supposed to live by, right? The Injil. Okay? So by that, I can't do that if we don't have the actual Injil.
Yes,
so
that's why we have the Quran.
I would have to have the Injil in order to do what Allah wants me to do.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, I have the Injil.
You don't have the Injil though. You don't have the perfectly preserved original version of the Injil.
Okay, so where does the Quran say that?
Obviously, the Quran wouldn't come about if the Injil was not corrupted, right? You just agreed
with
this.
No, because if we do,
what are you talking about?
Listen. If we do have the Injil currently, then that means the Quran is immediately false.
No. If we have the corrupted version of the Injil right now, there would be a need for the Quran, and the Quran would be false.
There would be, but again, I want you to prove to me that the Injil was corrupted by the Quran.
That's a different question.
It is. So do it.
Wait, you're asking me to say that the Injil was corrupted, and where the Quran says the Injil is corrupted.
You believe that? You believe that? So tell me.
Try this again.
Where does it say that?
All right, we're gonna type this out too. X equals if the Injil is corrupted, then the Quran is needed. Would you agree with X?
I agree with that. I already agreed with it.
So,
but let's go the opposite side.
Yeah, let's go. No.
So if we have the Injil today, then the Quran is.
Are you gonna let me finish or not? Come on, dude.
Go ahead.
All right. So then the Quran came about, correct? You would agree with that?
If the Injil was corrupted, yeah.
No. It did come about, whether the Injil was corrupted or not, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, it was written by men, sure.
So the Quran came out, right?
By men, yeah.
So if the Injil was
corrupted,
the Quran came out, right? So if the Quran came out, that would mean the Injil is corrupted, right?
No.
Yes, it does, because that's what the original conditional is.
No, because here's what you're getting wrong. Here's what you're getting wrong.
I think
first of all, you cannot prove to me. Hang on. So yeah, so first of all, you need to prove to me that the Injil is corrupted. You can't.
I just said it's going to be in virtue of the
No. So okay, how about this? So in the same way, right? Are you familiar with Mormonism by any chance?
I was about to use the same thing.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh my Lord.
So Mormonism believes that Joseph Smith had to revise the church, right? And so he came about and says the same thing about our Injil and Torah, that it's corrupted. And now they need the Book of Mormon. Okay? But the Book of Mormon didn't come out until centuries later.
1800s.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So in the same way, right? In the same way. So we know that that's false. We know that that's false. Because it doesn't line up with the previous scriptures.
It's internally consistent.
Same thing goes with the Quran.
It would be the case that under their view that the Gospels were corrupted, right? If it's an internal view, and if we're granting everything that they say is true, then yes, it is the case, correct?
But in the same case, they would have to prove to me that the Gospels...
Do you agree that it would be the case that they're corrupted originally, right? That's something you would have to agree to by necessity.
What? For what? For what conclusion?
Say that the Gospels were originally corrupted. That would have to follow necessarily if you grant their position as true, right?
If it's true, yeah.
So then same in Islam, right?
But the same thing. But hang on. So there's another problem. There's
Yes
where
or
the
no?
Islamic
Same in
dilemma
Islam?
comes up. There's where the hang on. So there's where the
All right, bro.
Islamic dilemma comes in, because if it
It's
is
the same
corrupted,
logic applied. It's the
if
same
it
exact
is,
form.
hang on. But if the Injil is corrupted, then that means that Allah wants us, all of us, to go back to corrupted scriptures. Therefore, Allah is false.
Wait, do you think the same form doesn't apply? Like that was not the form you just gave in the case of like the Islamic dilemma. That's not the same form.
No. So
It's a
basically,
formal
do you
issue
know
that's
what
being
the
raised,
Islamic
right?
dilemma is? Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
What's the Islamic dilemma?
Yeah, it's just going to be like if the Bible confirms the Quran. No, if the Bible confirms the Quran, that's true, then Islam is false. If the opposite, then that's also going to follow that Islam
Yeah,
is false.
because
Something along those
Allah,
lines.
you even told me that Allah says that the Injil confirms, right, the Quran. Okay, which you say is the original uncorrupted
And same in Mormonism.
Injil, right?
It'd be the
Yeah,
same in
we
Mormonism,
can say the
right?
same thing. Yeah, so we
Yeah,
can
so
say the
why
same
does it
thing.
apply in the case of
But
Mormonism,
but
but
here's
not
the
in the
thing
case
though.
of the Quran?
But here's the thing though. So because the Quran, right? Allah tells us to go to corrupted scriptures.
And so, wait. Just to be clear, we did not say that in the Quran. It does not
Okay,
tell us to go to the corrupted
so
scriptures.
does
It tells us to go to
Allah,
the original scriptures.
right? So does Allah tell me as a Christian to go to the Injil right now? Does He tell me to go to
Yeah,
the
no,
Injil?
the current one right now. He wants you to go to the uncorrupted version. Same
Okay,
in
where
Mormonism.
is it? So I
He
can
wants you to go to the
I can
uncorrupted version.
I want to obey
There is
Allah, bro. I want to obey Allah. I want to know what the original Injil is. Please show me what it is. I want to. Where is it?
You can't because it's not around anymore.
So therefore, I cannot do what Allah tells
Yes,
me
but
to
you can
do.
go to the Quran, which conveys the same exact meaning, right?
Allah tells me as a Christian
Right?
to
You would
go
agree with
to
that.
the
Do you agree with
Injil.
what I just said? Do
What?
you agree? Yes or no?
What? State it again.
Do you agree that you could go to the Quran to find the information? Yes or no?
And find the information for what?
From the Injil and the Torah.
No.
No, you can't, even though there's going to be the same revelations.
No. It's not the same.
They're going to
That's
be
the
the
problem.
same.
It's
They're going to be
not
the
the same
revelation.
revelation. Because see,
They
here's the
convey the
problem.
same meaning. That's why the Quran is necessitated
Here's
from
the
the
problem,
fact
though.
the Injil
Here's the
existed.
problem. Here's the problem. What you're telling me to do is to agree that the Quran goes alongside the Injil, but I cannot even prove. I can't even read the original the Injil. So how can I know it even
Because
aligns
it's just a
with the
logical
Quran?
inference. We've already went through this. The Quran is not needed if the Injil is perfectly preserved, right?
That's not right, dude. Because the
That's
previous
not true.
scriptures
Then
would
what I
have
just
to.
said was not true.
So
So the
again,
Injil does not
so again,
necessitate the
so
Quran.
again, you have to prove to me by the Quran, because you said that we can get all the knowledge from the Quran. So tell me in the Quran where Allah or Muhammad tells me, right? Or the Hadith. You could show me an Hadith too, right? Where the Injil was corrupted. You can't do it.
I've already told you it's a logical inference.
That doesn't follow, dude, because listen, the previous scriptures would have to be true
Again. I
first.
can tell you it again if you want me to.
Listen,
Yes, they
just
were true
because,
originally.
huh?
So if they were corrupted, it necessitates another version coming out, right? And since another
Hang on
version
one
came out,
second.
that
Let
means
me
they're corrupted, right?
hang on one second. Just hold that thought. I got to handle something real quick. Okay.
Yeah. So what I was saying is, we're talking about the necessity of the Quran, right? Like, if it's the case that the Injil was corrupted, then it would necessitate that the Quran has to come out. And you had agreed with this earlier. So it's going to be an issue with the form. It's not going to be an issue with the content, right?
No,
Because you
the
agree it's
content
the
would have
same
to
exact
show.
content in the case of.
Now, you would have to prove to me. So okay, for this to work, all right, for that logic to work, okay, the Injil would have to be false, right? I mean,
Yes,
corrupted.
it'd have to be corrupted.
Corrupted.
If that means false, then sure.
Corrupted.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
Once
right.
again,
So
it's
for the
just
Quran to
ambiguous
be
terminology.
true, right? So if the Quran, sorry, so if the Quran would be, it was true, or is true, right? Then therefore, that would have to make the Injil false, right? Or sorry, corrupted.
No, not necessarily.
So It wouldn't need so the Quran wouldn't need to be
not the Quran being true. Once again, these
okay.
are just
So the Quran would have to be made
true. Just means came about. Then yes.
Okay. Well, it was still written down, so it was written down by men. The Quran was.
Mm-hmm. Actually.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Yeah, so it was right. Would you agree?
It was written by men, or it was.
Yeah. It was written by men.
What are you asking?
Was the Quran written down by men?
I could grant it as true. It really doesn't matter, though. This has nothing to do with the form of the argument.
Well, I know. I'm just saying. So, in order for the Quran to come about, the Injil would have to be false. I mean, corrupted. I keep saying false, but corrupted. So you said
if the Quran comes about, that would mean that the Injil was corrupted. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, great. So you would have to show me that the Injil is corrupted.
Once again, this is logical inference, right? You agree that if the Injil is corrupt, dude, I'll try this again, but it's just like you deny like the form of the argument, like every time I try to present it.
Hello. Okay, can you hear me? I'm sorry. I had to switch earphones and it went out on me. I apologize. Can you repeat what you said? Yeah, go ahead with what you were saying.
Yeah, so once again, it's an issue with the form. If the Injil is corrupted, you agree, then the Quran is necessitated, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Injil being corrupted would mean the Quran comes about, right? The Quran did come about, right?
It can come about falsely.
Yeah, but that's not related to the question I just asked.
Some quack like Muhammad could come around and be like, "Oh yeah, I wrote the Quran."
Yeah, but the revelation is necessitated, right? The revelation itself, because that's what the Quran is. So God giving them revelation is necessitated from the original statement, right?
But again, you would have to prove that the original scriptures were corrupted. Just as simple as that. Because again, the whole idea is that Allah
would be the form of the argument.
Well, but again, isn't the whole argument that we should go back to the Injil, Christians? You even because Muhammad, if Muhammad doubts, okay, so question: when Muhammad was given the Quran, okay, was the Injil the same Injil as they had in the original script in the first century?
Otherwise, the Quran wouldn't be necessitated.
Okay, so
there would be no reason
why
for the Quran to come out. The Quran only would come out if and only if the Injil is corrupted. That's the only reason it would come about.
Okay, so if it did come about from or because of corrupted scripture, which would be the Injil.
Yes.
Okay, well hang on.
So
let's follow that. Right? Well, hang on. I understand. So hang on. So but hang on a second. So then why did
No, we're not hanging on.
No, hang on.
What you did right now was you just conceded the whole point. The Injil necessitates it, right?
I'm trying to get to that.
Necessarily.
I'm trying to get to that.
Yes or no?
Okay, so if it follows, let's go through that. Let's follow it.
Yes.
Can we follow it? Yes. So if we follow it, let's go. All right. So there you go. So let's follow that reasoning. Okay. Hang on a second. Hang on. You think you're getting somewhere? Let's just hang on a second.
We're good. We're good now.
I know. So calm down. You be all right. It's all right.
Yes.
It's okay.
You conceded the whole point. You conceded the
point. Okay.
The Injil is corrupted.
All right. So if you don't stop talking, I'm going to have to mute you. So let me speak. Okay. You didn't do anything. So hang on a second. So if that is the case, if the Injil, I don't know why you're laughing, bro. Can you just listen? Focus. It's okay. Chill out, bro. It's all right, man. It's okay. You will be okay.
Okay, you can see it.
Now,
you can see it.
Now, this is the problem. This is the problem that you have to solve. Okay, you have to solve this. If the Injil is in fact corrupted, and we do have the Quran, right, which is the revelation from Allah, right?
Yep.
Okay. Then why then does Allah tell Muhammad to go back to the Injil that they had at that time if it was corrupted?
Because he wants us to go back to the original Injil if we do have preserved, but we don't.
Yeah, so there you go. So again, why would let's go back to the logic
right?
here.
That would mean the Injil is corrupt,
yes.
right? That mean Christianity is false, right? That mean the Trinity is false, right?
No, that Islam is actually false. Because if the Injil, you're not understanding, you're not tracking.
Isn't, because once again,
so let me follow me. Follow the words that I'm telling you. No, I have. I literally conceded your point. I conceded the point. I literally conceded the point. I conceded the point, brother. Can you calm down? Let's talk. This is a conversation. Okay.
Let's talk.
All right. So answer the question.
Hold on, let me get water.
So okay. This is insane, guys. This is crazy.
Listen, boy, I'm going to pop your ass if you don't shut the hell up. What you're going to do is you're going to concede the argument like a good boy, and you're going to tell me you concede, right? Because you've conceded all along throughout the course of the conversation. Every single time we make a point, you have to break it down for you every single time. And every single time, it's so incredibly annoying listening to you talk because I just want to...